Welcome. Thank you for joining me, grayboardgamer, here with a playthrough of Ancient Artifacts. Ancient Artifacts is a roll and write game that I backed on Kickstarter and is available in this format that you'll see me play, but it is also available as free print and play files that I will post the link for in the video description below. Let's get this box open and start the playthrough. Inside of the box, we have one large pad of double-sided career sheets, one atlas board, 9 action dice, and 6 results dice, and a cloth bag. All we need to do to set up is have our career sheet, a pencil, and place our 9 action dice in the bag and give them a thorough mix. Our goal in the solo game is to get as many renown points as possible. Renown points are found on the career sheet, and they're represented by these gold stars with numbers inside them, and the number represents how many renown points that particular star is worth. What we are trying to do throughout the game is to progress through the steps on this career sheet, which is divided into 3 parallel renown tracks. We have the desert track, the ocean track, and the jungle track. Each career step on the renown track is divided by milestones. The milestones are represented by the vertical lines that mark each step along the way in the renown track. The solo game plays almost the same as the multiplayer or competitive version, except we will not be using the if followed track on the career sheet. And one other change for the solo game that I will explain when we get to that situation in the gameplay. The first step we take is draw. We will draw 2 dice from the cloth bag. And these are our first 2 action dice. We drew a blue and a green die. Then we roll those 2 action dice. And we got a green 1 and a blue 3. We will take either the 1 or the 3 and place it on the atlas board to perform an action. If we look in the bottom left corner of the atlas board, we'll see the roll bonus. If we use a dice of that color and number to perform an action, we get the roll bonus. And the roll bonus acts differently whether it's research or one of the other actions like dive, explore, or dig. As always, I will explain these throughout the gameplay. What I need to do is take a look at what actions are available to me. I can't perform actions beyond the milestone lines until the previous action or research has been completed. For example, in the desert, I can dig. In the ocean, I can do research. In the jungle, I can do research or explore. When placing a die, you have to either match the color in these spots that have no number on them, or you have to match the number in the spots that have the numbers. For example, I could place this green 1 here on dig because the 1 matches the 1. But I would not receive a bonus because the color and the number do not match what's in the roll bonus chart in the bottom left. I could put the 3 here on the dive action, and the 3 is blue, and it's the number 3, which matches the color and the number. If we look on my career sheet, dive is on the other side of the milestone here, which means I have to do research before I could do that action. What I will choose to do is place the 1 on the dig, so I can dig in the desert, but I will not get a bonus. And here's the difference in the solo game. When you place your first die, you must place the other die, but you do not get to take the action for that second die. And when placing the second die, color takes precedence. So if you are able to place the die on the correct color, you must do so. Otherwise, number would be how you would place the die. If I was unable to place it by color, and then I was still unable to place it by number, I would have to spend money from my budget by marking off one of my budget circles, which would then allow me to redraw 2 more dice and roll again. But in this case, we are able to place the first die and the second die successfully. So we'll now dig in the desert without a roll bonus. If we look on our career sheet, when digging in the desert, we have to get one of these 2 symbols. The symbols are not called out by name in the rulebook, so I just made up names for them. This first symbol here, which looks like a person speaking, I call that information, like someone's getting some information word of mouth. And then The crossed shovel and pickaxe I refer to as crossed tools. So when I say information and crossed tools throughout this playthrough, you'll know what I'm speaking of. For each one of those that I roll, I can mark off one of the boxes in the dig section here in the desert. If I would have placed a desert colored die on the dig spot and got the bonus, then for every successful die that I roll, I would get double. This double bonus can be used in most locations on the career sheet, with the exception of this dig action here. You can see that there is this colored border around most of these actions here. The lack of colored border here represents that you cannot use that bonus to get double when you're digging in that final area in the desert. Now that our action die is in place and we know we're digging, we will roll the 6 results dice. And that worked out pretty good for us. We have 2 of the information and 1 of the cross tools, so that's 3 successes for us. We'll place those off to the side so we don't hit them. And now we have a choice. Do we want to roll the dice that are not locked? These are locked and cannot be re-rolled. Or do we want to stop there? What you have to keep in mind is anytime we roll one of those skulls, it also automatically gets locked. And if we end up rolling 3 of these skulls, the area we're in would get attacked by raiders, and we would mark off one of our raider checkboxes here in that area. And if all 3 of those checkboxes get marked, then we cannot go back to that area at all for the rest of the game. So I'll take the risk. I'm thinking I won't roll 3 all at once. Well, we got 1. Do I risk it or do I stop? I think I'll risk it. I don't think I'll roll double skulls. And now I think it might be a good time to stop. Also, when you're rolling at any time, you can spend one of your budget in order to pick up all the dice, even ones that are locked, whether they're skulls or ones that you wanted to keep. You would pick up all 6 and roll them to start over again. But I will stop there with 3 successes. And that will allow me to cross off 3 boxes here in the first step, which is the dig section of the desert. Still have several to go, but it's a good start. Now that we have decided to stop and marked our boxes, we would check the atlas board, which is divided into 3 areas. We have the desert, the jungle, and the ocean. If there are dice in all 3 of the areas, we would pick up all the dice and put them back in the bag. In this case, we only have a die in the ocean and the desert. And keep in mind that it's the locations that we're concerned about, not the colors of the dice. We'll take our bag, draw 2 more, and roll, and get an orange 4 and a green 1. We failed to roll any dice that would match for the bonus, so we have to choose where to go. We can't dive with the 4 because dive is not available yet in the ocean. We can't research in the desert because it's not available yet, but we can explore or do research in the jungle. So to be able to place both dice, I will put the 1 on one of the jungle research spots, and that's what we will be doing. And then we have to assign this die by color if possible, and we can, and I will place it there in the desert. So we're going to do jungle research, which is quite difficult without the bonus. Because if we look on the career sheet, the research actions, a lot of them have spaces that are colored in. And if we look here at the jungle, you see that we have a green information and a green journal. If you're able to get the roll bonus, then you do not have to get those colored in boxes. But since I did not obtain that bonus, I need to achieve 3 information plus 2 journals, or 3 journals plus 2 information in order to complete the research in the jungle. And research is different from the other actions. Research has to be completed all in one turn. So of the 6 dice that I have to roll these 5 icons without getting more than 1 skull. It's going to be quite difficult, but we'll give it a shot and see if we can do it. All right, we need 3 of something, so we'll see how we start out here. We started out quite poorly. There's 2 skulls already. And I don't want to get raiders this early, so I will mark off one of my budget. which will allow me to grab all 6 dice and start over. That's much better. We have 2 journals and 1 information. I'll keep all 3 of those and re-roll these. And that is ridiculous. We actually made it. We have 4 journals and 2 information. Unbelievable. That was good luck. 4 journals and 2 information will fulfill the 3 journals and 2 information section and allow us to mark off that research action. Now all 3 areas are represented with a die: the ocean, the desert, and the jungle. So all these dice will come off and go back into the bag. And we'll draw 2 more. Both green, a 6 and a 1. We already completed the research action in that first step in the jungle, and we rolled a 6, which matches the roll bonus number. So we will explore. So we'll place the green 6 on the explore spot, and then we have to match our second die by color. But now we will get the roll bonus. While doing the explore action, we would need the information symbol or the machete symbol. And since the explore action here is outlined in green, the bonus applies. So for each one of those icons we get, it's worth 2. So we need machetes or information. Well, we got 2 machetes, 1 information, and 1 skull. I'll choose to keep going, thinking I will not roll 2 skulls at once. And it was a good call, because we have another information. It's a total of 4 of the necessary icons worth 2 apiece, which will give us 8. So we will stop there. And that will allow us to mark off all 8 boxes in the explore action on the jungle track. As soon as you complete all the necessary actions in the area to the left of the milestone, you mark it off and earn, in this case, 1 renown point and an additional bit of funding. And that will open up this research and explore step on the jungle track. Only 1 area has dice in it. So we'll draw 2 more from the bag. Both blue. And we'll roll and get a 2 and a 2. In the desert we only have dig available, and in the ocean we only have research. I do not want to attempt the research in the ocean this time because I don't have a bonus. So what I will do is dig in the desert. I'll use the 2 on the 2 spot. I will not get the bonus, and I'll have to place the second die by color on the ocean spot. And now we have a die in all 3 locations, so we can start over with a full bag of dice again. But this time we're going to dig in the desert. We're not going to close it out this time because we do not have the bonus, and we have 9 spots still to mark off. We need info and cross tools. All right, here we go. Wow, that's pretty good. We have 3 info, 1 cross tools, and only 1 skull. We'll keep those and keep rolling because we cannot get 3 skulls because we only have 1 die left. So we'll just keep rolling until we get info and cross tools or 1 more skull. And we got cross tools, very nice. So we got 5 successes. Those 5 successes will leave us only 4 more in the dig action here in step 1 in the desert. There's a die in all 3 regions, so they will come off and go back into the bag. Give them a good mix. Draw 2 more. Orange 6, green 5. We have that new explore action opened up in the next step in the jungle, so we're going to do that because we have the 5, which will match the 5 here, and we'll get our bonus. And we'll place a second die by color here in the desert. And we have a new symbol to talk about. You see the skull with a circle and cross through it next to this explore action. And what that means is instead of getting double for each success, you get 1 extra skull die before you have to mark off a raider, which means instead of rolling 3 and then I mark off a spot here in the raider track, I would have to get 4 skulls before marking off the raider track with the bonus on that symbol. And for the explore action here in step 2, we need information plus a machete for each success. It's not either or, we have to have both dice just to get 1 mark. We need information and machetes. Well, we have 1 set here. And 1 skull also. So as long as we don't roll 4 skulls total, we're okay. Well, there's 3. I cannot get another success with 1 die, so I'll stop there. We only got 1, but it's a start. With dice in only 2 regions, we'll continue to draw from the bag. We have a blue and a green. Blue 1, green 4. The jungle research is slightly easier than the ocean because it requires 4 dice instead of 5 because I can't get a bonus on either one. So I'll do jungle research and then place the second die by its color. And that will give us dice in all 3 regions. Research in the jungle will require 4 journals or 4 bits of information. I chose to do the jungle research in place of the ocean research because I thought it'd be harder to get the 5 different symbols here as opposed to 4. All right, can we do this? Journals or information? Well, we're going to go with journals because we already have 2 and we have 1 skull. We can't have 2 more skulls. I don't want to keep any of those. Don't want to keep any of those. We have our 3rd journal and our 2nd skull. 1 die remaining. I'm going to go for it. And this shows why the bonus is important, because if I would have had the bonus here, I would only need the 3 journals that I already have. But let's see if we can do it. Yes, got it. 4 journals. That was pretty lucky. We were able to mark off that research. We can complete this step with 2 more explore actions here in the jungle.